Hey, my name is Meg. Welcome back to my channel. So today I am ashamed to say we're going to be playing with a palette that I have had in my collection for weeks and just have not touched it. I took some like product layout photos of it when I got it, and then just for one reason or another it has just been sitting in my to be tried drawer. And anyways, let's not waste any more time. Let's get into it. This is the Glaminatrix Cosmetics Pretty in Pastels palette. If you want to see what I create with this and my impressions on playing with it, then keep on watching. So here is the inside palette. It is stunning. I love the packaging they went with for this. Definite unicorn vibes, which I am down with. As like spooky loving as I am also a sucker for anything majestic and unicorn-like. So this has me. And if you haven't seen it yet, I'm sure you have because this palette has been out for a while. But this is the inside. I just really loved the concept they went with this, where it is pastel for sure. You've got your 2 rows of pastel mattes in some really nice, interesting shades. My only one thing is like these 2 shades here look very similar, and maybe they swatch and perform very differently, but I imagine that they look pretty similar on the eye. I feel like they could have probably switched that out with one of them out with something. And then you have 2 rows of really gorgeous pastel shimmers. And then I love that they included this dark row of mattes that are really just going to help add some depth to it, because you can do very pastel looks, but sometimes, at least for me especially, it's why I tend to like stay away from pastels a lot, is that I like some depth in my looks. So I really love that those are included. We're definitely going to be playing with some of those today. So let's zoom in and let's just get started on a look and have some fun. All right, so I think I have a plan idea in mind. We're gonna go with like sort of a, not even sort of, we're gonna go with a halo eye. And I think I wanna like try to keep it mostly matte. I think on the most part, everything's gonna be matte, and like we'll just like pop a shimmer on the inner corner. Wow, I almost like poked my eye out with this. So let's get into it. The first shade I'm gonna go in with, I haven't even swatched these yet. This is the deepest, one of the deeper shades. It's called Peaceful, and it's like, looks like a nice deep navy blue. And let's grab my mirror, which, I don't know, like, can we take bets already on how often I'm going to have this in the frame? Hopefully almost not at all. I'm also going with one of my smaller hand mirrors, so I'm hoping that I can keep it out of the frame, but we'll see. So if I look like I like check the monitor a lot, it's because I am, because I'm trying to make sure I don't have it in frame and go out of focus. So we're taking that on this Morphe brush. It's just from a set, and we're going to just start stamping that on the inner corner. Oh, not nearly as dark as I thought it would be, given like what it looks like in the pan. Does it build up is the question. Oh yeah, pretty. Really happy with that so far. And I think actually, like, yeah, we're gonna make sure we take it all the way around, because I want to have some of this shade peeking out when I have like my cut in the middle. There's definitely a lot of kickback in the like on the palette from like the pan, which is fine. That's not something that bugs me, but if that's gonna bug you, just be aware of it. This is only my second palette from Glaminatrix. I've really enjoyed the brand so far. My first palette I ever got from them, like I've wanted to order from them for so long, and then, you know, just with cost, like they're an Australian based brand, so like shipping, exchange rate, customs, all that stuff, it adds up. So it was a while before I could really like kind of go for it. And when they came out with that Sugar and Spice palette, I was just like, I need to have that in my life. And I ordered it, and I adore that palette. I really need to play with it again soon. And I have zero regrets about going for it. Grabbing this brush, it is a BH Cosmetics one from a set, and I should probably actually hold it up. I'm gonna go, I think, into this like kind of tealy minty shade here called Labyrinth. Love the name. And then we're just going to start blending outwards. Beautiful shade. I might need like a slightly denser fluffy brush. This is a nice brush, but it's almost a little too flimsy to help get like the blend going. So yeah, we're gonna switch to something with a little bit more oomph to it. Let me go with this one. It's from Melt Cosmetics. It's from their Amore Mariposa line. It's just one of the blending brushes. The set's not available anymore, but if you can get your hands on just like any of the regular brushes even too, like outside of collection, they're really great. They're some of my favorites. Yeah, that's better. I think we're gonna have to like go back into that blue just to like help with the blend. Like I might kind of even try dipping back and forth between the two shades, but this is really nice. And like for a pastel like shade, that's got a nice amount of pigment to it. So happy with that. Before we like go back and forth though, I just want to get all the shades I want laid down. So now I'm going to take this Melt Cosmetics brush. This is like what I mean when I say like their regular brushes. Like this is the ones that they just normally have all the time. This is just, it says I blend. Anyways, and then we're going to go in with this pastel yellow called Visionary. Let's see if this works well with this. Just thought it'd be nice to add like that pop of yellow, and then just also it would be the lightest matte, so hopefully that's showing up on there. I think it's adding a nice little wash color. We're gonna go back and forth with like all the shades anyways, so if this kind of goes more on like that previous shade than I mean to, it's fine. Like even like without going back in to like work on the blend and like redefine, like add more intensity and stuff like that, bump up any pigment I lose. I already like really love the whole vibe to this blend. I really like this. And this palette's already pushing me to kind of go out of my comfort zone because yellow is just not a color I reach for very often. I'm going to go back in with that previous brush and that previous shade Labyrinth, and we're just going to blend that back in. It's okay if I cover up some of that yellow that we just laid down, because I sort of covered up a bit of the prior shades with that, so I'm just gonna like kind of reclaim the space a little bit, and then I just want to make sure that the blend is where I want it. And then I'm gonna go back in with that other shade that we used, the first one, but instead of going back in with the packing brush, I'm gonna go in with this I guess like medium size blending brush from Morphe. It's the M411. I'm going to dip back into, what was it called again? Peaceful. And I'm just going to make sure that's blending. I might actually, you know what? I'm going to dip into with the packing brush first to just like make sure I'm getting the depth that I want, but I'm going to go in with just a tinge of the shadow on the blending brush to help blend it into the other shades. And again, like I want this to show up, especially at the top when we clean up the center for like the halo. I want it to be present. I don't want to lose all of it. Like I don't have to have a ton of it up here. I am going to want to bring up that halo eye, like especially like with how my eyes are. I like to bring up the lid space quite a bit. Otherwise I feel like when my eyes are open you can't see it that well. Blending like a dream though, which is not unexpected. I really enjoyed the Sugar and Spice palette, both for the color story, the shimmers are magnificent, but also like the mattes were like so impressive and blended really well. So far, sorry, hiccup. So far this palette is doing the same. So that's telling me that Glaminatrix is definitely got a good formula going on, and it is a brand I need to keep my eye on because I'm probably going to need to grab more stuff from them in the future, even though as of right now, I'm attempting to be on a no-buy. So fingers crossed that will work for me. Anyways, we're going to catch up the other eye, and then I am going to probably do the lower lash line, and then we'll do the lid. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So be right back once it's all caught up. All right, so as you can see, I have caught up the other eye. I also went ahead and put some eyeliner in my waterline. I went with one of my favorites from before and rediscovered favorites. This is LA Girl Cosmetics Shockwave Neon Liner in the shade Fresh. It's just like the most perfect, I guess basically almost pastel teal liner. It sits so well in the waterline. I can't recommend this specific shade especially enough. And now let's do the lower lash. So I'm going to take this Wet n Wild. It doesn't say like what it is, but it's like a little mini angled brush. I discovered that they had these at my local Dollar Tree recently, so I picked some up. But I'm going to go into that deep blue Peaceful. And then I'm going to start putting that along my lower lash. The nice thing about going in with like a smaller detailed brush like this is I can try to like really control the level of smokiness that I'm like how blown out I want the lower lash to get. So it can get out of control pretty quick. Just gonna help make sure that's connecting to the outer corner. And then I'm going to go in, I don't have any small. Let's try with this one. It's a Morphe M562, which is a small blending brush. And I think we're gonna go into Labyrinth. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna go pull in another shade. For the lower lash to blow it out a little bit, I'm gonna go in with this blue here. This one's Infatuation. I'm gonna pick that up and just start lightly blending out that shade. Definitely because the amount of like kick up you get with the shadows, I highly recommend tapping off your brush if you don't want stuff like pigment everywhere. Like when I tap it off, like there's like a cloud of shadow. Just going in small bits, softly because I can always add more and like pull it down more, but if it gets like too out of control and down, I can't really easily fix that and like lessen it. So I'd rather control it right now. And I think that's where I'm liking that. Who knows, I could always change it down the line, but I'm gonna repeat this on the other eye, and then let's cut the halo, the crease. You know, lower lash is done, at least for now. Now I'm gonna take some micellar water and a Q-tip. I love using like pointed ones. I find these on Amazon. But I just find that they really help with getting a nice crisp line. And then we're just gonna figure out where I'm gonna try. I need to get my mirror like as close to me as I can, but I'll try not to pull it into frame. But I just want to start kind of figuring out where I want the shape. Like you could skip over like even like cleaning it up and just go like right in with a base. I think just because I am going to be using like pastel mattes on the lid, I want to have this like as clean of any other like pigmentation, like shadow as I can. Because I'm going to do this and then I'm also still going to probably go in like with like a white base just to help really amp up the canvas, if you will. All right, I think those are as even as I'm going to get them, which is fine. Let's close that so I don't spill it everywhere. Next, I'm gonna go in with a white base. My base of choice is the P. Louise. This is the cosmetic base in Rumor Zero. I don't know why I'm like looking as if I had to read that, like I know. And which is their white. And I'm going to stick a glob of this on the back of my hand. And I'm gonna take this. This is another brush like when I found like this one at my local Dollar Tree. I also saw they had these. This was from Selfie Face. I'm not really familiar with the brand, but it was just a nice like small flat rounded brush, which I thought would be really good when doing work like this. So I'm going to like load up both sides of the brush pretty heavily. And then we're gonna start placing this all over. And this is also a reason like why I want to like clean up, because the white base is easily going to get like muddy and pick up. Like I probably could have even cleaned it a bit better because I want it to be like as purely white as possible. And that is more or less the result that we want there. I don't worry as much about like on the edges because we're going to blend the other shade back in. But if you wanted to, I've like wiped off any excess product. So I'm not trying to add any more product. But now that I have like nothing on there, I can go and I can kind of just stamp. And again, I'll like wipe if in case I picked up some from doing this. But I'll just kind of stamp over the edges just so that there's no chance of like a harsh line. Another trick too, like sometimes what I'll do if I just think that my line here isn't going to be as crisp as I want, you might not find it a good trick because maybe, you know, doing graphic liner is kind of unnerving to you as well. But I'll take like a cake liner and do like a little graphic liner, little arch over the top as like a border between. That can be a nice like added detail and touch as well. So just something to try, both to like mix it up and add some like kind of fun detail to the look, and also it helps kind of hide if you don't think your cut was like very clean. Okay, now that we got that kind of as even as we can, I am going to apply some mattes on the lid. So I think I want to introduce like the pink and the purple. So we're gonna go with Mystify, which is the pink like in the very center, and then the transition between like the pink and the blue, we're gonna use this gorgeous purple here called Fanciful, and then we'll also like probably have to like touch up the Peaceful shade just to make sure it all blends together nicely. But that is half the battle with most looks, is just going back and forth. I wish I had some. I don't seem to have any of my favorite little detail brushes. So I am going to go in with this just sort of nameless flat brush, and I'm going to pick up that pink Mystify. I'm just going to start stamping that down. Apparently did not pick up very much pigment. Really beautiful shade. Kind of has a bit of like a, at least it seems to have a bit more of a purpley undertone to it. Definitely happy that I put the white base on underneath. All right, and then I'm just gonna like flip this same brush over and dip into that Fanciful shade. And we're gonna go on either side of the pink now, just to help transition that to the blue. Not that like you couldn't blend the pink and the blue in together, like potentially they would just kind of create a similar shade to this. But it's also just nice to get to use another shade. Hopefully it's not too loud. It's Canada Day long weekend. Tomorrow's Canada Day. But a lot of people have decided that they're going to do fireworks today for some reason. So hopefully it's not too loud, but if you're kind of hearing that little bang in the background, that's what it is. Right, and then before going back in with the blue, I'm going to go back in a little bit more with the pink. I'm just going to grab this other brush. This is a Gothlow 710. Not that the other one wasn't working, but I just don't want to risk that I'm going to like put any purple anywhere I don't want. Just want to make sure that that's still very much there. Not lost to the purple. The pink is like extremely crumbly in the pan. Just heads up, like if I hold it up in a second, just so you can kind of see what I mean. Like all of them get kind of crumbly in that, but the pink is like just very, very crumbly, which isn't like a deal breaker for me, but just FYI when using it, it's almost like it balls up a little bit. That was a loud one. Okay, and then we are going to go in with that first brush and a teeny little bit of Peaceful. I'm gonna be careful not to like overdo it. I just want this to all blend seamlessly. Even in back in with the purple, just a little bit, just to, if needed. I really like that blend. All right, some NYX glitter glue and another one of the small Wet n Wild angle brushes. I'm going to go directly in with that brush after applying NYX glitter glue, and I'm going to go in with the pink here called Surreal. I just think that it'd be nice to draw that in. I almost went with like the peachy orange Idealist just to kind of add another tone to this, almost like make it a little like pastel rainbowy, but I don't know. I just think the pink will be a nice touch with the pink matte on the lid. And we're gonna go, oh, might have even gone a little heavy-handed on that. Didn't think I'd picked up that much, but I think because of that, I'm gonna go in with the brush that we use that deep blue with, but like no additional product. And then also this one, just try to blend that a little. There we go. I like it to kind of like come down on the lower lash a bit, but I don't want it to be like so much that it takes over half the lower lash. Repeat the same stuff so it comes out looking the same. Since I did the same thing over here. There we go. I know it's not really kind of showcasing the shimmers very much. They're very beautiful. I can't wait to use them in another look, but just every once in a while, like a matte look is calling to me, and I just really wanted to do something like this. So I'm happy with it, no regrets. I'm gonna go finish off the rest of my face and then we'll zoom out, show off the finished look, and go from there. Okay, here it is, the finished look. I'm so happy with how this turned out. I almost added some like gems and then I put them on the one eye and I just thought that it just was taking away from the look I created. So I took them off and decided to just keep it pure. So this is the finished look using the Glaminatrix Cosmetics Pretty Pastels. My first time playing with the palette, and I am definitely impressed and can't wait to play with this more, explore it more, play with these other deep shades, and some of these other, like, you know, I didn't really use the shimmers too much, and then, you know, these mattes here I haven't touched at all. So, sorry, I kind of pointed that one, but I did use that one. But really impressed so far. Love this. I think the pigmentation for like a pastel, you know, heavy palette is amazing. They seem to have like a really good formula for it. You know, yes, like the pastels still perform in a bit of a way that you expect pastels to perform. You know, they're a little bit, I don't want to say like dusty is not the right word, but you do have to like kind of build them up. It takes a little bit more time to kind of finesse them, and like there was more kick up in the pan, but I don't mind that. They still perform great. They're laying great on the eyes. The pigmentation is there and it's beautiful and I'm happy with it. So to me, it's like for a pastel palette, this is a really great one. And if you were looking to add a pastel palette to your collection, this might be the one to consider, in my opinion, based off the ones I've tried, which have been several. So if you want to know what's on my lips, the combo I went with is Melt Cosmetics Perfectionist Lip Pencil in Familia. This is from the Mori Mariposa collection. Sadly not available anymore, but I definitely highly recommend the Perfectionist lip liners in general. They're really great. And then I went in with this NYX Cosmetics Suede Matte Lipstick in the shade Lavender and Lace. Just a really nice kind of, I guess, like lavendery, grungy kind of nude shade. Really beautiful. I thought they would just play off that, add some kind of drama to the look with like a dark lip, but I liked the ombre of the slightly lighter lip shade with the darker lip liner. Anyways, hope you enjoyed watching me create this video. If you did, I greatly appreciate it if you give the video a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'd love to have you stick around for more. And also check me out on my other socials. I'm Spooky Mama Glam on TikTok and Instagram. I do get to post on those platforms a little bit more because it's just faster, you know, to be able to get that content out than it is to like get these videos edited, even though I try to do them as quickly as I can. But yeah, it was really fun doing this and playing with some makeup and just kind of trying to see where my creativity could take me with this gorgeous pastel palette. So hope you enjoyed this, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!